Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are. And if you were asleep, you would have missed it. But if you were awake into the early hours like we were, or of course you lived in America where it was normal hours, you would have seen the commercials that were placed in some sports game thing that had Taylor Swift. I think Taylor Swift won it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
with a
of course,
touchdown from the end zone or some shit like that.
that's it. Yeah,
Hut, hut,
touchdown with the
pizza, hut, hut.
Enzo. Yeah, field hockey goal thingy. Yeah, that's it. It was yeah. Okay, in all seriousness, yes, watch the Super Bowl, not for the adverts, for the actual Super Bowl itself, for the match. And it was a great match. It was legitimately a great match. I loved it. It was just nail biting stuff. Went into overtime as well, which is really good. And in the end, George Soros and Pfizer won, and Taylor Swift won. Psyops from Joe Biden and the CIA, which, if you
Mm.
go on Twitter, that's what they're saying. It is. I had so much fun on Twitter today. It's the most fun I've had in a long fucking time.
Well,
That
reality
being said,
sucks, doesn't it? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, exactly. That being said, there were some film trailers that dropped, and of course, we all know the big one, Deadpool and Wolverine. You can tell from the thumbnail, which, by the way, that thumbnail was Hugh Jackman's reply to the trailer, saying, "No, look, I fixed the title of the film," and he just made Wolverine an arsehole, which I thought was great. So you know the marketing for this film is going to be fantastic. But before we talk about Deadpool, we're going to talk about a couple of other trailers that did drop. I wish I could show them here, but everything's so up in the air about what we can show. We keep getting our streams interrupted and taken down. So just go watch the bloody things yourselves. That's all I could say.
yeah, more
Uh,
strikes than a
that,
fucking boring baseball game.
yeah, exactly. Sam, take it away. What one do you want to talk about? I know you wanted to talk about one in particular.
Planet of the Apes, simply because the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I believe, and simply because I think this saga is a lot better than people give it credit for. The Planet of the Apes, the new saga of it, obviously the ones that started several years ago, and with the character of Caesar being front and center. Unfortunately, he did die at the end of the last one. Was that Rise of the Planet of the Apes? I think it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, with Woody Harrelson. And that actually made me kind of emotional because I thought it was a great character, Caesar, and I thought the old Planet of the Apes saga was really good. Like even the ape characters themselves, there were good ones, there were bad ones, double crosses, all of that. They were no different to the humans at one point. Even though the humans were initially the bad guys, there was so much character development for apes, for fuck's sake, and it worked so well. And I was telling
yeah,
you earlier, and I know you gave me a good response to this, but this series has been going on for a long time, and they never rush it. Like just when you think we're not going to see another sequel, another one does pop along, and then you look forward to it because you think to yourself, okay, enough time has passed for me to prepare myself for this next episode in this particular saga. It's going to be post season now, so I wonder if it'll be season son or whatever. But the way things are looking in this one, it looks like the Charlton Heston era of Planet of the Apes and all of that. It looks like we're finally getting to that stage in the development of this arc, but it's coming full circle, so to speak.
yeah. That's spot on. It's coming full circle. It looks like, yeah, we're going to end up with the kind of Charlton Heston era. Obviously, not with that kind of. I mean, the funny thing is, at the end of it, you might end up with a rocket landing, which will be awesome.
Well, it depends really because you have to have had millenniums of years go past for the Statue of Liberty to end up the way it did, on the side of a beach or whatever. Like it was on an
Yeah,
island on its own, and next thing you know, it's on the fucking beach. Did it wash up on that beach, or has the like the planet terraformed to such a degree that that's how it ended up becoming? Because that's a long fucking time. So that for me, I would like an answer to that at some particular point as well. That'd be important to me. How
yeah. I
that
mean,
pans
it'll
out.
be the good thing is yeah, we don't want to know how far into the future it is yet. We want to find that out in the film. And and that. But there's because there's a clip in the trailer where they're walking along the beach, and it looks very similar to the scene with the Statue of Liberty thing as well. So yeah, I'll be interested. I mean, it looks all right. It looks decent enough. I mean, Predator. They did a good job considering it's under Disney. They did a good job with Predator when they brought it back. So let's hope that they can give the same kind of love to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, a couple of comments here. Phony Beetle Maniac says, I think they want the quality, and I think the quality control on the franchise is great. Yeah, I do too. It does become very formulaic though. It's okay, apes versus humans and all of that sort of shit. Hopefully, this one will be more apes versus apes to a degree. I mean, even the other ones had that as well, but it's more the infighting, and now there might be different ape factions. Yeah, if a spaceship does land as well, that's gonna open up a whole new fucking can of worms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got fucking CGI, fucking Charlton Heston's face on this motherfucker. That'll be interesting too.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Every time I tune in, it's nothing but Brits on my screen. Yeah, well, that's what you love. That's what you love.
You love it. It's the accent. It makes you moister than an oyster. You know what I mean? Okay, so moving on. From Planet of the Apes, we go to more Disney stuff. We got Wicked. Wicked is the musical about the Wicked Witch. And I can't remember what
it's a prequel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a prequel.
It's a prequel. Basically, the Wicked Witch of the East. She wasn't always wicked, and it was the people around her, like the good guys, who actually made her evil. I think that's how so it's actually kind of a tragic story that she was never really a bad person, but the people who end up being a good guy during the period of Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz and all that shit were the ones who made her the bad person, and it was their fault. Like they fucked with her or they bullied her or something along those lines, or they.
That's it. Yeah, so it's a great premise. It's a great musical as well, and so this is what this is. This is a musical. Looking at it, it was again bloated CGI kind of stuff. Ariana Grande, obviously they're going to bring her in because she can fucking sing and all of that. But I'm looking forward to see what they do with the music with it, because that's going to be the key to selling this film, is making sure they get the music right. The rest of it looks okay, manageable. The witch, the casting for her looks decent enough, and let's hope the reviews are all right for it, and give it a watch on Disney Plus when it comes on there.
Disney Plus is not going to come out in cinema.
Yeah, it's coming out in cinema as well, but I'm not going to go.
My only issue is that the what's becoming quite a prominent thing now is that these things that were once solely musicals that you had to go to the theater to watch are coming out on the big screen. They're doing it with everything, and I feel that's an injustice sometimes to certain shows that I think should only be seen in the theater. Now, I'm never going to watch Cats. I'm never going to watch Les Miserables. I'm never going to watch fucking Wicked, at the theater.
Oh, mate,
at the theater.
Awesome.
But to say never is an overstatement, because you should never say never. But I can't see myself going. I'm not the biggest fan of musicals. However, I do feel that to put these things on the big screen is an injustice to the work that goes into putting it on stage, and I feel you're denying people the right to see it in the way it should be seen in a theater, live action.
Only if they do it like just a couple of years after it's come out. But this Wicked has been around for God knows what, 30 years now, 20 odd years, 20-something years. It's been around for ages.
Wasn't Grease a movie first and then it became a theater show? Wasn't Jesus Christ Superstar a movie first, then it became a theater show? That's different.
Yeah,
that's the opposite way around. But I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Grease was a film first, then it became a theater performance. Yeah. And Jesus Christ Superstar, unless you're thinking of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, in which case, if you want to lose the will to live, go and watch that. Fucking Andrew Lloyd Webber, I can't stand his stuff. It's absolute garbage. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. If
Because
hopefully the
I
reviews are
expect the
good.
movie version. I expect the movie version at some point down the line of the Book of Mormon.
Don't put it past Matt and Trey to do that. But yeah, I mean, it depends how much they want to invest in it because they're quite lazy. So, you know, but the Book of Mormon's awesome. You should go see that.
Yeah,
It's great. I used to love going to the theater. Fucking
yeah. No,
expensive,
theater's
but worth
fine.
it.
I just like I said, it's just musicals. I just don't appreciate them the way other people do.
Yeah, that's fair. They're not for everyone. For me personally, it's just I can't stand Andrew Lloyd Webber stuff. Like his stuff is
Phantom of the Opera. There's another one as well,
awful.
by the way.
I've never seen
Yeah.
that, and I'm not gonna go watch that. You know what I mean? I only did Jesus and the Technicolor Dreamcoat because the tickets were free, and that's why. Otherwise, I avoid him like the plague.
Yeah,
We also had. Oh, by the way, you know there was a Super Bowl spot for Monkey Man.
Oh, really? The one
Yeah,
I did a trailer for.
yeah.
A trailer
We
reaction.
can put that on. I'm pretty sure we won't get a strike for that one. Let's see.
Well, I did a trailer
Or,
reaction for it.
yeah, but you might have missed a Super Bowl spot. It's 40 seconds.
Okay.
That's the
Let's give it a
only
shot. What's the
reason.
worst we can lose?
Yeah, exactly. Worst that can happen is right. That.
This
Yeah,
is
all
why
right,
I
Gary.
like Jordan Peele so much. Something I mentioned about him. Let's watch the trailer first. I'll talk about him afterwards.
Yeah.
Give us some volume.
One small ember can burn down everything.
I'm getting ripped.
Yeah. Monkey Man.
From,
Only theaters April 5th.
All right, fair enough. I hadn't seen it, so I thought we might get something new. Well, we did a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Look, Jordan Peele, he knows how to pick him, and credit to him as well to make Dev Patel, who a lot of people only know him from Slumdog Millionaire, but I was telling him I've been watching this kid since fucking Skins on Channel 4
mate,
from back
Skins.
in. Yeah. And now to see
Yeah.
him where he is, and I think because of he's a bit of a lanky, goofy looking dude. Probably people thought, no, this guy action movie star, no chance. But then you see him in this, and you think to yourself, Hollywood, you missed a fucking trick. And not only that, he is a martial artist. He's a black belt in Taekwondo. So you have an actor.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you have an actor who can do martial arts, which is probably why he's directing this because he understands choreography. So you have you have an actor who could do martial arts, and you don't use him at all in action films and whatsoever. I mean, you don't even have to make him the lead. You can start off by filtering him in as a supporting cast member and seeing how he applies himself there. And if that pans out, then you put him in more main roles. But the fact that Jordan Peele just immediately flung him into this Indian
No. Jordan Peele just put his name on it. He had nothing to do with the production of this film. Nothing.
So how did he get involved in it without?
He basically Dev Patel shopped the film to people, and whichever fucking studio has greenlit it.
Peele, but this is the thing with Peele, because Peele is very much the type of person to put faith into the non-mainstream actors. When you see some of the stuff that his name has been put alongside, and so he's done it again.
Normally I'd agree with you, but I need to put my foot down here because he's taken a lot of credit for this, and he doesn't deserve to. He had no part in this whatsoever. He just they've just attached his name as a producer, or his production company have kind of like helped distribute it out, but he's taking credit for it. And it's like, it's not your fucking film, mate. What you could take credit in is saying, yeah, I had the balls to kind of invest in this and get it out there. But again, they've put his name on this because, Americans are fucking stupid. In the UK, you show us Dev Patel doing martial arts, we're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we'll watch this. Right, because they need to sell it to the American audience. You know, nothing against Jordan Peele in general, like because you know he's I like his stuff, but just in this instance, I don't like that he's trying to take credit for it.
Well,
But yeah,
it had me. I'll be honest with you. It had me fooled because I constantly align Jordan Peele with somebody who puts diversity and ethnic minorities and in front and center in his movies and gives them a shot to establish themselves in stuff which is not which is not necessarily too stereotyped. And even this fucking Indian John Wick, like what the fuck is this?
no, it's
I know
great.
he's
Yeah,
obviously like I know
but that's what
obviously
no,
he's only bought the film. Right, he never was there from the beginning to craft it. I
yeah, he
get it.
wasn't there from the beginning. No,
I get it, but at
but
least
I
he's
think
willing to put his head
on
on the
that.
block,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah, but to your point with Jordan Peele, you know, I like the fact that he said, "Look, in my films, you know, I won't have like a white leading man because there's plenty of those around. You know, I want to give, and don't forget he's mixed race. Jordan Peele is mixed race. Okay, he's not 100% black. Okay, he's open about that as well, and he says
if you
he
look, there are people out in this world. It doesn't matter if you're mixed race or not. You're black. You know what I mean? For a lot of
yeah, but
people, I
to
mean,
other people, you're either
like
light skin or
like
you're black or you're too white or yeah,
like
there's all these
like
kind of
Barack Obama. You know what I mean? Who's mixed
yeah,
race? You know, so
exactly. And but I like the fact that you know, again, when it's his stuff, his films, his art, he's saying this is what I want to do, and he's saying I want to put black actors at the forefront. Look what he did for the career of Daniel Kaluuya.
yeah, he's
You know what
killed
I
it
mean?
for him.
Killed it for
Yeah.
him, and that's what I want to see. Give people the funds to create what they want to create and put the kind of people that they want to put in original settings. And that's what I like Jordan Peele. He's killing it there. You know, he did it for Jonathan Majors with Lovecraft and all this kind of stuff. He was like an executive producer for that. And it's great. I like Jordan Peele, thought it was okay, but there's parts I didn't like of Get Out. It's an okay film. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it, but I like what it did for
It
Daniel
reminds me
Kaluuya's
of
career.
other stuff, like the whole like rich people fucking over grabbing. There was that film one with Billy Warlock. I forgot what it was called. Society, I think, had that sort of vibe about it, where these rich people
Oh,
they'll
that's
suck the
going
life
back,
out of
isn't it?
people. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's going back. But yeah, no,
yeah.
exactly. So yeah, more power to him, and yeah, more power to him and his production company for distributing this. So yeah, all good. Yeah. Okay. Next we had Twisters, the sequel to Twister. Now, I haven't seen this trailer. I'm just going to quickly see who it's by. Oh, it's by
It's gonna be the
Universal, so
same.
we can't play it.
It's gonna be the same people who made the first one. I mean, same studio, unless that studio went under and somebody bought the
Yeah, no,
rights
no,
to it.
it's Universal and Amblin. We can't play Universal stuff. They strike it
Fuckers.
down. Fuckers. But I again barely glanced at the trailer. Don't really care about it. I love the original. The original was awesome, but back then it was because CGI was like just new in films and they were kind
It
of
was in
testing the
infancy.
boundaries. Huh?
Yeah, it was in the infancy. Like people were looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing what wonders people could create with CGI, and this was like one of the. I mean, initially, all a lot of people think it began with Jurassic Park, but really kind of began with Terminator 2. And if you want to go further back than that, there's a really cool scene in Young Sherlock Holmes where this
Yeah.
fucking
That was the first to kind of use
yeah,
CGI.
but
Yeah.
after
The
that,
bit with the
obviously,
stained glass window when it
yeah, the
turns
stained glass
into
window, yeah.
yeah,
And but after
yeah.
that, obviously, Terminator 2 to a degree, but no, not throughout because obviously the T1000 wasn't in every aspect of the movie. But once you then
I
go
think it
into
was
Jurassic
Abyss
Park,
before Terminator 2.
possibly, yeah, that's a good
The
point.
water
But
physics and all of that.
even Abyss, like there was only those segments were few and far. It
Yeah.
wasn't throughout the whole film. It was more to do with like the Marines and the scientists at odds with each other and shit like that. But yeah, well, then obviously with Twister and Independence Day and films like that, You know, like they really were pushing the boundaries of special effects and like the disaster films were perfect for fucking
Yes,
special
they were.
effects. You know,
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were a great kind of jumping off point to kind of because of the science involved in like because again I did 3D animation and all this, so all the shit involved with just learning the physics of it and all this kind of stuff. It films were a great jumping off point for that. That was a great way to kind of get started on all of that, and having twisters now. There's just no point because now you're at the point where that will just be bloated CGI, whereas Twisters was like at the core, you had really good, interesting characters. You know, Helen Hunt, great. Bill Paxton, great.
yeah.
And because a lot of it was practical effects as
And
well.
the love triangle as well. I'm not sure if you remember in the first one. Bill
That's right.
Paxton and his wife, and Helen Hunt was his ex-girlfriend, and they were like, you know, Twister hunters, and she was kind of like a fifth wheel, and then she kind of realized, you know what, go fuck your ex-girlfriend. I'm getting out of here. And,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
exactly.
those scenes like that one part where they're in that hut and it's full of all these sharp objects. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
you know, like the quality scenes and stuff, and I think Carl Yule's like just getting swept away and just accepting his fate and all of that with a burger in his mouth or whatever. Like, oh, it just
yeah.
I don't know if that was him or somebody else. I think maybe Philip Seymour Hoffman was in that as well. I'm not sure.
I think he was in that one. They were the ones in the truck that just got swept away, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they look at their face like, oh, you know, just take it. You know, like
I'm gonna go rewatch that film. That's a bloody great film. That was a great film.
It was really cool. Like, what the fuck are these guys doing? They're chasing fucking tornadoes. What the fuck? Who like? Yeah, but yeah. Well, I hope the second one's good. You know, if it has the spirit of the first one's great. And I need to see a fucking flying cow.
You're goddamn right. If we don't get a flying cow in it, then I don't want to know. Pretty much that was it, really. The rest was like Kung Fu Panda, Despicable Me 4.
Who gives a fuck about that? Kung Fu Panda, seriously, like, honestly, like I'm so done with Kung Fu. Like Kung Fu Panda is not this charming thing. Even Despicable Me, like these fucking minions and shit. Like fuck all this shit, man. These toy selling motherfuckers. Like I can see right through you. These things are not good anymore. They're bollocks. You know, like stop flogging a dead horse.
Yeah, unfortunately, they make good money. I mean, look at like Hotel Transylvania. They've made 4 of those.
Really?
By the way, the 4th one was the best one. That was hilarious. I watched it because obviously the nephews. I put it on. And I'm sitting there screaming, laughing my head off. I mean, just looking like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Kind of thing. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, of course they're gonna milk it until it doesn't make any more money. Look at like How I Trained Your Dragon, and yeah, like you said, Despicable
There
Me.
was a time when CGI cartoons were like must see. You know, it really was. You know, but now I don't give a fuck anymore because like they're all bullshit. Like the days of the Incredibles, and yeah, like all of that. Like for me, my favorite one is Ratatouille, simply because the concept of a rat teaching a guy how to cook in a French Michelin star restaurant should be absurd, and it should fall flat on its face. And it worked superbly, and there was a magic to it as well. You know, there was real panache,
good characters in it as well,
in everything. You know, even that one moment where Peter O'Toole's character writes that his journal on what he just eaten and all of that, and it's such a superb film. Like they just don't make it's real quality and class. They just don't have that anymore, you know. And
no, that I think Ratatouille was the last good Pixar film. I think, or Toy Story 4.
Now they're doing stuff about emotions and elements. Like I'm cool with emotions and elements, but they're characterizing them. Like you are scraping the barrel and you're really pulling shit out your fucking ass. You know what I mean?
Yes,
we're gonna have the fire element,
kind of stuff,
the fire element and water element. They fall in love, but they counter each other and all of that. Oh, what the fuck, man? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? You know, like it's so stupid, and emotions and stuff like that. Oh, please. Like I'm so disappointed. Like give us Incredibles 3 for fuck's sake. I'm down for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for
Yeah,
that. Like, but yeah,
yeah, yeah. They're few and far between the ones that blow you away, kind of stuff. Like Despicable Me 1 was awesome. I liked 3 only because of Trey Parker was the villain in it, and I only liked his performance. Everything else was awful. But yeah, again, I watch these because you got the nephews. You just whack it on in the background. But because it's animation, I'll sit through and watch the whole thing. But I just sit there for the most part. I'm like, how much music have they licensed here? But again, the ones that are with Universal Studios, it's very easy because they could just pull
no.
their music from their record label.
One of the
And
reasons
this,
why I liked a lot of the Pixar stuff is that they weren't musicals. They were just straight up cartoons without music. Toy Story had no music in it. Fucking obviously, you had a little song at the end in one of them, but that was just the swan song of it because this little penguin got his voice back. But stuff like that. Incredibles never had that. Ratatouille never had that. All of my
that's right.
favorite ones never had that.
Yeah, they
Bugs
ditched the
Life, all
Disney
of these things.
musical stuff and they went into
Yeah,
their like area. And yeah, Pixar stuff at the beginning was amazing, absolutely amazing
yeah.
until Disney outright bought them, and it
And
was
then
a
they're
shame.
fucking and then now they're
And they-
fucking got musicals and. Well, I've got nothing against Frozen and stuff like that, but they're just not my cup of tea. You know what I mean? It's all good. Like these films, like all these like coming of age sort of stuff, but there's too much of that shit. You know what I mean? There's too much of that coming
Yeah,
of age shit. You
but the
know?
thing that flew under the radar, which I think was amazing, was Red. So Red came out it was straight to Disney Plus, and that was great because it wasn't a musical. It was about a young girl getting her first period, but it also ties into her transforming into a giant red panda. And it's so fucking funny. It's so, it does girls of that age really, really well. Where like, they're simping for like this boy band, and so they want to get to this concert, and obviously strict Asian mum and all this kind of stuff. And it's just brilliantly done. It's so funny, but it flew under the radar, and it's so frustrating because like when Disney does it right, nobody notices. But when they do the bland generic stuff, everyone notices, but nobody cares either because they're crap, soulless
it
garbage.
For some reason, and look, I know what the reason is because it's like periods, vages, children, shit like that. It became controversial.
It did, yeah.
Even though it's as natural as fucking, like
It's drinking water.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like, but
Yeah,
yeah, parents and stuff like that had an issue with it. Like, how dare we? We do reality. Fuck that. I don't want to do reality at all. I don't want it
yeah,
to be popularized or anything. So, hey, watch
exactly.
out, you.
Okay, so then we go to the main event then. Deadpool. Deadpool the
Yeah.
trailer dropped and looks pretty good from what we got. It was just a teaser. I like that we don't get a lot shown in. I love the beginning with the celebrating Wade's birthday or whatever it was, and it's all the characters from like Deadpool 2 that have remained. So you had Shatterstar,
Yeah, but
obviously you
he
had
he, went,
Colossus.
he changed
Huh?
time, didn't he, at the end of Deadpool 2? And so,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna get into that. You just jumped right ahead.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we get all the characters from Deadpool 2, and then there's a knock on the door, and the TVA comes in, and this is where we'll start the conversation because I think what a great idea. Because in Deadpool 2, as you said, he went and changed a whole lot of shit from the timeline. And so it makes sense that the TVA show up to him to kind of arrest him because he's changed time and he could be a variant. Now, is this Deadpool going around killing other Deadpool variants? Is this. I'll bring it to you. What do you reckon?
Well, first of all, how do you kill Deadpool? I mean, the guy's
Ted.
been ripped apart and
Yeah.
he's fucking come back together again. So secondly, what I liked is that the TVA is not just Owen Wilson because when we watched it in Loki, you saw the landscape of it. It's fucking huge, and so we are seeing a
Yeah.
different aspect of it now. But how much of this TVA is how much of it does it actually resemble what we saw in Loki, and is it is it the same TVA after Loki became, this
This is it.
god or whatever, or
Yeah, the
before?
timeline's going to be interesting. Is it the TVA before Loki events? Is it during, or is it after? So there's that element to it, which is
Are we going
interesting.
to see Owen Wilson in this at all? Or anybody from Loki? Because I mean, it's
Yeah,
also really good. It's good to see actually different aspects from maybe which is created within the TV universe now being used in the film universe. Like what always bugged me sometimes is that certain things are only kept for certain shows and you never see them elsewhere.
yeah.
And
The
it's good
Netflix
to
show
see.
bugged me for that.
Yeah, so it's really good to see. It's really good to see the chopstick scare, so which makes it get off my case. But it's really good to see the TVA in something else other than fucking Loki. It's always good to see other aspects of the universe in other parts of the universe and not in just what they
Yeah,
are
and
are based on.
it's cleverly done here because, like, what better way to bring Loki into the MC? Not Loki, Deadpool into the MCU by having him go up against the TVA, because he fucked so many timelines up at the end of Deadpool 2, even his own continuity, that it just makes sense. How now the question is, how long after Deadpool 2 does this take place? That's going to be interesting, because if it takes place, say, immediately after Deadpool 2, then that TVA could be pre-Loki TVA. Which again, it makes sense if they do it that way, because as soon as you change the timeline, that's when the repercussions take effect and the TVA show up. So if it's taken place like a decade later, it's not going to make any sense, even though it doesn't really matter if that's the case, because look, we're all here to just have fun with this film. They're going to have fun with the film. I mean, there's a bit where he's fighting a bunch of TVA agents, and you'll see in the background the old 20th Century Fox logo is buried in the sand. And I just thought that, that's like so meta. That's such a great, like, funny thing. And again, him saying he's the MCU Jesus and all this. So yeah, they're
In
going
the
to have
day,
fun with it.
resetting the MCU, like they need him to reset it, so they are
Yes.
very much self-aware, which is
Yeah,
excellent.
exactly. So yeah, there's that. I mean, there's a lot riding on this film. Gary thinks it's gonna suck, and they're overblowing it, then tell a good story. We don't know yet. As long as they keep it simple.
Easter eggs
Deadpool
galore,
versus
by
the
the way.
TVA, multiverse. Huh?
I'm expecting Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
I'd love that. Yeah, it has to be.
I'm looking to see that they might CGI just to make him look a few years younger, even though he looks
Yeah,
great for his age. But
yeah.
I can definitely see that happening. And who else? I mean, like, there's so many like sort of crossovers regarding who's
Yeah, I
been
mean,
in
we
what.
could
So
get we could get Fox's Fantastic Four, the whole cast. We could get Jessica Alba, Young Griffith come back, Michael Chiklis come back as well.
I'm not sure about
Uh,
all of that because you've also got the shitty fan Ford stick, as I like to
oh
call it, the one with
God.
Michael B. Jordan. You
Yeah, I don't
know,
think they'll come back, because like Miles Teller is just a douche, and he would want nothing to do with it, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame
Uh,
him, man. I don't blame any of
I
them.
don't blame him.
It's a fucking pile of shit.
Yeah,
So
I don't blame him. So I don't think they'll factor in it, but possibly the other fantasy. Because look, we'll all be more excited to see the original Fantastic Four, even though the film sucked. Would still be like, oh, cool, rather than say that the Fan Four
did
stick
you
was
see
like,
Pyro, by the way? The Pyro actor, he was in that
Pyro
trailer.
was in it. Yeah, again, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense that he's in it.
So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see what happens with him.
yeah.
And
So it'd be good to see, like, yeah, if we get all of Singer's, because there's rumors obviously that all of the Bryan Singer X-Men are gonna be in it. So obviously we're gonna get Professor X, but there's a moment where you see the back of a bald guy's head, and that one looks like James McAvoy's um Xavier, which
James
they are the
McAvoy,
ones
yeah,
that they're the ones that cameoed in the Deadpool film, which
yeah.
made no fucking sense to the timeline. But because it's Deadpool, you don't take it too serious. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this. I hope we get like a whole bunch of X-Men characters, even from like that shitty Origins Wolverine story as well. Juggernaut would be nice to see him again.
Which one? Vinny Jones.
No, not the fucking Billy Jones one, the
Oh,
Deadpool
he
one.
was. Well, the thing is, he is so shit that if Deadpool somehow kills him, then people, yeah, all right, you know what I mean? Because I'm actually looking at this as like what Deadpool's doing is I think Deadpool could be going on a massive killing spree, and like, okay, you're shit, you're done, you're done, you're done, you're done,
Maybe,
dead, 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 and all of
maybe,
that. I'm
yeah.
so desperate
Kills
for this
the whole
R.
universe.
I'm so desperate for this R-rated movie to be not only successful but super successful. It is fundamental that this is a good film and it kills it at the box office, because then maybe then will fucking Disney will realize, you know what, we don't need to fucking just market to kids anymore. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
given the reactions I've seen online, this film is gonna make bank. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds, it's Hugh
What's the
Jackman.
only
I mean, people look
yeah.
what people did when he came back to X-Men in Days of Future Past. It was the highest grossing film of the lot. It made almost $1 billion. And yeah, they yeah, people are gonna flock to see this one because everyone's genuinely in. There's not a single person I know that isn't intrigued one way or another. Either because it might be shit, or either because it's going to be really amazing, but also because there's going to be so many bloody cameos in it, possibly. But again, as long as they keep the storyline good and then throw in the cameos as like a sprinkler on top, then yeah, this film is just gonna smash it. I'm gonna go watch it in the cinema. If you want to come with me, we'll go
Yeah,
watch
let's
it.
do it. Well, it's the only Marvel film that's gonna be coming out this year. So
Yeah,
let's
it's
do
coming
it
out in May.
for July.
Oh, July. Yeah, we'll go watch it. Then we'll go have barbecue afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. So it looks good. No Wolverine in the trailer. I mean, like, when we're talking. Look, I don't care what you did see. There was no Wolverine in this fucking trailer. So I'm
yeah.
wondering how much of him is going to be in the actual movie, and what role, what significance does he
No, it's
play?
called
But it
it's
is
called
cool.
Deadpool. That's why they didn't call it Deadpool 3. It's called Deadpool and Wolverine. They're both
But
in it.
what is the significance of Wolverine? You know, like, yeah,
This is it. Again, Days of Future Past. Could that tie into it? He goes back in time to stop the events of something happening, and
my,
that's
my
where he's. I think we got a scene. The scene. Do you remember that in Loki, the first one, where they go to? I think I'll just call it purgatory, but just before they get eaten by that monster. I don't know what it was called, where they ended up in. Once they get purged, I think it is with the stick, and they disappear into that kind of
yeah,
weird thing
yeah.
with that monster. I think I saw that in there as well. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I can't fucking wait. I really can't wait for this. So I'm all in. And
It's so many variances. Excuse the pun. Um, regarding this, like, what is Wolverine's overall role? What's the whole point of this? Will this film be anything like its predecessors? Because end of the day, regardless of it might be more bloodier, will it be just as vile? And with its toilet humor, because Wade Wilson was like talking about masturbating and all this sort of shit all the fucking time. Like when he lost his hand and it became really small and shit like that, like the first thing he thought was like jerking himself off with it. Like, will it go there? Will it really go there? When it comes to that
now you're
level of
feeding into
humor.
the void. It was the void. Do you know why I didn't say the void? Because there's a character called the void linked to the Sentry, and that's why I can't associate that there's two places or a person and a place called the void. But I was fucking right initially, not when I said it here, when I was talking about it with a friend yesterday, but we weren't sure and I couldn't be asked to Google it.
But because for me having a bit more, like, having the violence I think Disney does violence as it is, but they just don't add blood to it. So fine, they're going to do the same similar violence. They're going to just throw some blood on it as well, you know. And they might do that, but when it comes to that humor and some of the sexual references and all of this sort of shit, and like we're not just talking about Deadpool bending over and slapping his bum cheeks. We're talking way more than that. If they go down that route, and you'll know if this film is truly a Deadpool movie or something that Disney's just got their hands in too much and they just can't help themselves, but just lean on it too much and put their emphasis on it.
It's a good benchmark, and I think see, if anything is going to be R-rated, this was the safest bet because Hugh Jackman, massively popular and beloved as Wolverine, Deadpool, massively popular films. Both of them made great money, considering their budget. So it's a safe bet for them to go down the R-rated route. Blade is another safe bet that they weren't willing to take, which was stupid. But everyone was saying it needs to be R-rated. Obviously, now they're going down the R-rated route. So much so they had to fucking advertise it. Okay. But they're the two films are the safest bet to do R-rated, or a Wolverine film to do R-rated. So if this makes great money, which I'm sure it will it break $1 billion? Hard to say with an R-rated film, but it's going to make at least 700 to 800. Like I'm talking maybe Oppenheimer money here. If they do that, then they'll probably greenlight more R-rated stuff, but they're still going to be very careful because they're not just going to be like, oh, everything's just going to be R-rated, because you're going to get diminishing returns. Because this one's Deadpool and Wolverine, that's why again they made sure to say Deadpool Wolverine, not just Deadpool 3. So yeah, it's definitely a safe bet.
I'm not up for everything being R-rated. I don't mind stuff being more family friendly. But there are certain things in the MCU that need to be 100% R-rated. Punisher and Blade come to mind straight off the bat. And they are without doubt two characters who are quite similar who need to be R-rated as fuck, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And
Wolverine needs to be R-rated.
The problem with Wolverine is that if he's around the X-Men, if he's part of the X-Men, then they won't. No. If he's got his own movie, then if he's the lead of his own project, and then like he was in Logan and like he was in the Wolverine, then you're more likely to. So
I'll tell you what I'd love. When they recast Wolverine, I'd love an anthology series, Wolverine Through Time. Just different times that he did things, like when he was in the 19th century, then he moved into the First World War, the Second World War. God knows how many wars and regime changes he helped put together and all this kind of stuff. Love to see that. And then him facing against the Hulk. That'd be awesome.
I saw that, by the way, and I thought that could be Victor Von Doom, but if it is a variant or if it's going to be the Victor Von Doom that will be a major part of the MCU, I don't know. But I don't want to speculate too soon, because it goes back to fucking all these other bits of speculation people have, like what was the name of that fucking devil creature again?
Mephisto.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to that, and so until it's more confirmed, and it's just not. Oh, it could be, could it be? Who knows? We'll just wait and see.
I agree. That's why I didn't want to mention him, but I totally agree. Cool. All right then, should we end it there?
Let's end it there.
All right. Well, hang on, just quickly here. No clean enough looking for the real Doom, and it's clearly in the void. It's kind of, if it's in the void, then it's a variant for sure. Yeah.
I personally am unhappy if it is a variant, because the first time we see Victor Von Doom, it shouldn't be a variant. I mean, he is too significant of a character to be like shown partially as a variant. His first time we see him should be epic.
Yeah. All right then. On that note, thank you everyone who joined us in the comments. Thank you, Zam. And we will see you for the next one. What day is it today? Monday. Well, there's loads of videos coming out all this week. Star Trek podcast, the two other weekend podcasts as well, and lots of lovely Zam reviews in between all of that.
Gambling with Zam, hopefully, as well. You might see me do some gambling live on TV.
Oh, there you go.
on
We're going to be
YouTube.
peddling gambling as well. So see, we are a variety of varieties.
Yeah.
We'll see you all later. Bye bye.